Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having an incredible day. As always, likes, comments, and subscriptions are always appreciated, as all these things do help with my YouTube rankings. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. It's going to be a slightly bit of a weird video, but alas, here we are. It says the past weeks have been quite challenging throughout the entire cryptocurrency market, to say the least. The total capitalization of the cryptocurrency market is down over $300 billion in the last 7 days alone. Bitcoin, along with most of the other cryptocurrencies, are struggling in terms of pricing. However, some technical indicators might suggest that the bottom is closing in. As you might have gotten by my words, the last 7, 8, 9, 10 days have been a little weird within the cryptocurrency space. We received news around 3 weeks ago that there was an issue with the housing real estate company in China known as Evergrande, and that they had defaulted. Stock prices fell, the cryptocurrency market fell as well. We are now getting news and indications that the people who print money within the United States, the Federal Reserve, might not be buying as many securities and or equities as they were previously doing before, and or might actually be raising interest rates as well. The idea being that if interest rates are lower, people are more likely to take out debt, but the issue is that no one is taking out debt. So they're thinking about raising the interest rate to make it look like as if people are actually interested once again in the market. And all of this, and of course a lot of other things as well, a lot of other countries are going through issues, not even the entire inflation thing, which is also another topic of discussion that we've been going through the last years on this channel. There are many countries whose currencies are poo-poo, and they continue to get worse and worse as time continues to go on. For some reason, this seems to be rattling the cryptocurrency market, and many people aren't sure why. There are a couple of explanations. It could be the real estate thing, it could be the stock market thing, it could be the idea that maybe inflation isn't going to be as inflation-y as it was before. That's actually one of the other explanations, if you will, that if the Federal Reserve does within the next 2 to 3 years decide to start printing a smaller amount of money, well, therefore Bitcoin will also be affected. But it's not like the Federal Reserve is going to cut off 50% of the total funding or printing that they're also doing right now, and then simply try to find better monetary policies, because they would have done that before, but they don't have it, and they're not going to create them. I sometimes wonder, a lot of the people, and I don't mean this in a snarky way, I'm not even like that deep in economics myself. I'm not a master of sorts when it comes to reading these things, but a lot of things are quite evident. And if you look at what the Federal Reserve has done before in the past, you can kind of get a very clear indication of what they're going to be doing in the future, and it doesn't appear anytime soon that they're going to have any proper economic policies and simply stop the rate of inflation or inflation at all with the US dollar, which is the world reserve currency. So, as it stands right now, Bitcoin and many other cryptocurrency markets are feeling the heat. There's a lot of discussion as to where these prices are going to go. A lot of people are looking at the charts from before and trying to see where things could potentially go. Here's the crash that we had because of 19, when everyone panicked and yada, yada, yada. Here's the dip or crash that we had around summertime of last year, obviously. And then people are matching it up with the current dip that we're having right now. You should be able to see this on the screen. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. And as to where or how low we could potentially go around this time, as we are seeing a bit of a pullback. A lot of people are basically saying that when we hit, I think we hit $69,000 to maybe $70,000 per coin, that it was time for a pullback. We were overdue for some type of a movement backwards in Bitcoin's price, as is typical for many other stocks and many other things as well. If you shoot up too high or nearly double in price over the course of a 4, 5, 6 month period, well, then therefore you are due for a bit of a cool off, so that the market can see or have a clear understanding as to if the previous movements were simply a fluke, or if there's going to be a bottom in price that prices will not seemingly dip beneath anymore. The idea being, once again, for those of you not looking at the screen, as we heard last week, it appears that $38,000, $40,000, and $42,000 are kind of the major support levels and or the bottoming of prices, as people are now calling it right now, as I believe a couple of days ago we went to, it was like 38,900 something. We quickly bounced off of that, and now we're constantly floating around 40,000, and any attempt to move lower seems to be stopped, and therefore 40,000 could potentially be the actual support right now. It says critical levels for Bitcoin's price. What's next, 50K or 30K? No one knows. Not a gosh darn person knows. Not one single person. And I think it's better like this because a lot of the news, you've seen the trends when I'm going over the news, the daily news, if you will. A lot of times if Bitcoin has like an 8% movement over the course of a day, a lot of the news tends to be, here we go, $900,000 Bitcoin. If we have any type of a dip, 12%, a lot of it becomes, where's Bitcoin going? And it becomes very, very sad. I think this is simply a period for a lot of people, especially whales in the background, to simply reaccumulate. I think it's also interesting. My brain is very weird. But I always make videos like immediately after I wake up. This is why sometimes you see my eyes like barely able to focus. I had a dream right before I woke up that Bitcoin actually hit $24,000. I am not a psychic, just throwing that out there. It's more of I would not be surprised if we continued falling. The big players in the space are going to continue to accumulate regardless. A lot of the talking, especially, so this is Mike Novogratz was recently in the news discussing where all the prices are going and where he thinks this is happening. Regardless of where Bitcoin's price goes, institutions are going to continue to buy up more and more of it. We've gone over this for years now. This is not a Bitcoin is going lower, institutions and rich people are not going to buy it kind of space. It's no. They have indications that Bitcoin is going to hit 6 figures and maybe potentially even 7 figures sometime in the future. Maybe flying cars or robot dogs. I'm not really sure exactly when. But this is why they continue to buy up all of it. So I think a lot of people, especially newer people in the space, we've gone over the news last week. A lot of newer wallets, you can see like the wallets that were just created, and how many of them are actually holding Bitcoin and how many have sold off. In the last like 2 weeks, the amount of newer Bitcoin wallets have continued to sell off while we keep getting all this like mega whale news and that they're continuing to buy as prices continue to go lower because it's cheaper for them to be able to buy something that could potentially in the future hit 7 figures as well. Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz expects the price of Bitcoin to bottom at around $38,000 to $40,000. He said, I know big institutions who are going through their process to put positions on. They're going to see those as attractive levels to buy. And basically, the rest of the interview was him talking about inflation and where Bitcoin's going and how high Bitcoin can be. But right now, Bitcoin needed to pull back in price, so saith Novogratz. And therefore, this is a great opportunity, saith Novogratz, to buy at these levels. And also, I guess, tying into price news as well, this happened over the weekend. The third largest Bitcoin whale has returned to buy another 551 Bitcoin at an average of $45,000. We had news about this guy for the last 7 or 8 days, give or take. On the 4th of January, he purchased 372 Bitcoin. A couple of days later, he purchased another 172 coins, and he recently purchased another 551, totaling millions and millions of dollars every single purchase, I believe. Apparently, he has around 120, just this one individual wallet now has around 121,000 Bitcoin, putting him really close to how much Bitcoin MicroStrategy has, and they have 124,391 Bitcoin. So just as an extra bit of clarification to all of you out there, I don't think a lot of people, how do I say this? I think a lot of times we lose sight as to what the future could be or what the future is going to hold or how the future is going to shape and look. Even as far as inflation, even as far as retirement, I've noticed very recently a lot of people, even those who claim that they understand, they don't really understand. There's no actual, by a large amount of people, I'm going to end this topic in 1 second, but I thought I'd throw this in there because I had a very fascinating talk with a couple of friends over the weekend. A lot of people tend to get into, I'll finish it really quick. The point is a lot of people don't see the long term for this market. I think a lot of people who are very prominent in this space as well simply buy and try to sell to make very quick profits, not really understanding exactly where this entire space is going. But at the same exact time, the people who do understand where all of this is going are the richest people on the planet. They continue to accumulate every single bit of Bitcoin that is created and mined every single day. And I personally believe in the future, if Bitcoin does have some type of astronomical huge price in 10, 15, 20 years, the people who are going to be complaining the most are the people who sold off far too early. So anyway, that's all the price news. There's usually some other like altcoin news kind of thrown in there. There was nothing. I think a lot of people who write these articles, not blaming them, simply don't know what to write if prices aren't moving either here or there. So it became a very much more focused what is Bitcoin going to do as opposed to Bitcoin is doing this. Anyway, that's all the price news. And yeah, let's move on. In some of this was really popular news, and I'm not really sure why it's always the dumb news that really gets people going. American fintech giant PayPal Holdings has reportedly confirmed its intent to launch its own stablecoin named PayPal Coin. The development of an in-house stablecoin was first discovered in the source code of PayPal's iPhone app by developer Steve Moser. Confirming the evidence found on the PayPal app, Jose Fernandez da Ponte, PayPal's senior vice president of crypto and digital currencies, told Bloomberg. He said, "We're exploring a stablecoin. If and when we seek to move forward, we will, of course, work closely with relevant regulators." Here's the logo that is apparently found inside the app. Moser's findings uncovered that PayPal is working on building a PayPal coin, which will be backed by US dollars. What? Didn't see that one coming. However, a PayPal spokesperson clarified that the source code of the iPhone's applications were developed in a recent hackathon. While PayPal's digital asset is in the making, the name, logo, and the features of the in-house token are subject to change prior to launch, because that's a very ugly logo. Supporting the ongoing development, PayPal has previously launched new features that allow users to buy, hold, and pay with digital coins. This is not surprising. We had rumors. Remember when Facebook announced that they were going to be creating their own digital currency in 2019? And like a week, maybe 10 days later, we had news from insiders, and I air quoted under the table that you couldn't see, that apparently Amazon, Apple, and two other major companies were allegedly also making their own coin as well to, join the race. But then the SEC, the ABC, Congress, the Senate, 1, 2, 3, 4, all jumped on Facebook's back and basically realized that Facebook was trying to become the largest bank in the world overnight, which we went over many, many times, and basically told them to shut down the entire operation. And any other news from any other company kind of completely disappeared. It's not surprising that PayPal is trying to make their own coin. They are and have realized that the money is in the cryptocurrency space. There's no other real question about that. You can't make gains or profit as much as you can from other platforms that you could normally, and whatever. So the point is, this was incredibly popular news. I'm not sure why this was so popular. It was completely evident that they were going to do so. This is not a coin that people can really invest in. I assume PayPal coin is also going to do exceedingly well. For those of you many years ago who remember when PayPal first started, the way that they got you to use the platform was that I think every time you signed up someone or you signed up yourself, you got a free $5 for free on their platform. All it really takes is for them to say, hey, if you use PayPal coin for this transaction, you get 12% off. People will start using it a lot more. PayPal itself is also digital. You're basically using digital money already. So the idea of them simply throwing on the word coin doesn't, really change much as far as your actual user experience, especially if you use PayPal on your phone. So anyway, as you might have noticed from the 19 tabs I've been clicking through, this was insanely popular news. I wish I could understand why, when we have actual significant news about an Ethereum upgrade, like a really strong altcoins upgrade, or Bitcoin getting new layers, or Bitcoin potentially doing X, Y, and Z, that doesn't make the news. But you can't do anything with this coin. Why was this so popular over the course of the last couple of days? We know that PayPal was going to do it. We can be certain that many other companies are already working on their own stablecoins as well. You can't invest in this. It's not a cryptocurrency. I wish people would stop doing that. Cryptocurrencies are decentralized, and they are decentralized. No one can tell you when and where you can use it, and they are mined by a protocol. So yeah, that's the PayPal is allegedly, confirmedly working on their own stablecoin. And yeah. Let's move on. Next up, I think this was news that we were supposed to care about, but no one actually cares about. This was also, really, really popular news. Amid crashing crypto prices after the bull run in October and November, the U.S. SEC data has revealed that Coinbase executives have been on a selling spree over the past 3 months. Overall, the insiders, using that term loosely, allegedly dumped more than $90 million worth of Coinbase stock. According to a recent filing with the U.S. SEC, Coinbase co-founder Fred Ersham and Chief Product Officer Surjit Chatterjee together sold Coinbase stock allegedly worth over $40 million in December alone of last year. Ersham and Chatterjee sold shares worth $31 million and $9 million respectively. Chief Accounting Officer Jennifer Jones sold coin stock worth $250,000 during the same month. The sell-off is insignificant, I know it is, compared to the overall transactions in Coinbase stocks. However, analysts believe it does indicate dwindling confidence of insiders and early investors in the first publicly traded crypto exchange in the States. I'm going to back this up for you. I don't even know where to begin because this entire story is just complete nonsense. This is one of the most popular news stories of the day. I know that a lot of people don't like Coinbase, so this is why I believe this news is so popular. You know myself, I'm not the biggest Coinbase fan. I think they should have higher percentage rates when it comes to staking, and also just lower fees. Like one of their fees on their platform is 25%. Doesn't make a lot of sense. However, there's a lot of news floating around of insider trading within Coinbase. A lot of people have heard this term before in a movie, in a TV show, or maybe on a podcast, and they think it's relevant in every single form of when people who work inside of a company are selling off their stock. And therefore, this is why we keep seeing this insider sell-off thing in this article, the next article, and every other article after it. This happens all the time. I don't know who I have to break that to, or whose heart I just broke. A lot of people inside of a company who own huge amounts of stock, especially if you happen to own random number, 5, 6, 15, $25 billion. I have no idea how much stock these people own. But sometimes if you have another venture, you sell off a portion of your stock. It even reads somewhere inside here is like, did they contact the SEC? Yes. If you own a major company, are the CEO, COO, CFO, you have to contact them and you have to tell them, hey, I hold a significant portion of this stock. I plan on selling off 1% of the stock that I hold. And they usually tell you, okay, you can do so. Just wait to set a date, and then you are then able to do so. That's how it actually works. It's not simply Elon Musk walking into a room and going, liquidate everything. That's not how stock selling works for people who are inside of a company. So a lot of this news is, I believe, thrown around to make you believe that these people know of something greater that is coming, and therefore this is why they're selling off their stock. No, I'm sure this was pre-approved a while ago. Hey, I need $250,000 to sell off my stock. Not a problem. Do it on this day. Hey, I need $9 million. Not a problem. You are a majority stake owner. However, you are able to sell off this portion of the stock on this date, and you cannot do so again for the next 18 months or so. And usually, especially for larger companies, this is usually all... the word isn't made public. It's known against the major shareholders, how these shares are moving around for other people to be able to buy them out of their position. Whatever. Anyway, so I don't really know what more to say about this. This was incredibly popular news. There's so much. I don't even know. First of all, Facebook shouldn't have gone public in the first place. That's just my opinion. A lot of that did, of course, have to do with greed. The idea of going public by a company usually has to do with them wanting more funding, them being more in the public space, other people being able to buy their stock, the stock price goes up, and therefore the value of the company. I think that a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges and other companies in the future are going to have a very difficult discussion with themselves because they seemingly don't understand that people want what they are selling, but not them themselves. When people go to Coinbase, they don't simply go, wow, this is a beautiful website. I would love to own a portion of this. No, they go, where can I buy the cryptocurrencies that I've been hearing so much about that are skyrocketing into the moon? I do assume that we are going to have more other cryptocurrency companies who are going to be going public over the next couple of years. I do not think that many of them are going to do well in the long term. Coinbase is still a complete coin flip. They're not doing anything differenter than any other space, except for that they're like super hyper regulated. But besides that, like once people have realized that they can get cryptocurrencies from other places or have a cheaper fee or whatever the actual, you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, incredibly popular news. I don't know what to really say more here, except that people are talking about insider trading, and no, that's not exactly what it is. Anyway, that's the super popular Coinbase allegedly news. Like I said, I think you were made to care about this news, or it was created and written in a way that you were supposed to care. It's not really relevant news at all. Alrighty. And to finish things off, Arbitrum, okay, has suffered from similar issues back in September. Apparently, one of Ethereum's side chains is down, or it's really slow, or it's not working like it's expected to. But apparently, they didn't take several hours to resolve it. Arbitrum 1, Ethereum's leading layer 2 scaling solution, is down. Might be up right now. The team behind the project posted a tweet on Sunday afternoon confirming that the network were suffering from problems. They said, we are currently experiencing sequencer downtime. Thank you for your patience as we work to resolve it. All funds in the system are safe, and we will post updates here. And there's a tweet for it right there. Data from Arbiscan and Off-Chain Lab suggests that the last block on the project's Arbitrum 1 chain, there's a big number, was processed at 10:29 UTC. That means it's been down for over 4 hours at press time. We're currently seeing a very popular trend in the cryptocurrency space, and I wonder how many more times this is actually going to happen. Years ago, 3 good years ago, we had a lot of news that one day I think JP Morgan had gone down. I think Visa and MasterCard also had a network outage, and many people began to proclaim that cryptocurrency was the solution. Why? We have no downtime. We have no down this. We have no so-and-so. Our blockchains are absolutely perfect. And as time has gone on, I think it's fascinating to see that the inverse is now happening, but people make sure to kind of downplay as this continues going on. Ethereum has to upgrade. There was another article that I don't have in this video right now because it was like slightly-ish, not really relevant. Vitalik Buterin was recently talking over the weekend about Ethereum and upcoming upgrades, and he has like a new idea or proposal for a potential new structure for EIP 1559 to be able to change gas fees on the Ethereum network to make it so that certain items passing through the chain will have this fee, and certain items passing through the chain will have a much lower fee. No, it just has to upgrade at this point. We also had news over like 4 or 5 days ago that Polygon, the other scaling solution that has been used by people to make NFTs because it has either zero or very low transaction fees, was slowed down. I'm not sure if it was halted, massively slowed down because of like a gardening game. It took up 40% of the network. This keeps happening over and over. So as much as I love the Ethereum project, I really do honestly believe that they don't actually have much longer left, and we actually have to get proper news of them upgrading, because every other layered solution or thing on top of it is either not being used as it was proposed many years ago as the go-to place to be able to use these other coins, but also the other popular solutions and layers are slowing down. What happens if someone is trying to, or anyone is trying to do something on Ethereum, but they can't use Ethereum because the gas fees are $1,500 like they were last year? They were, I mean, like actually $1,000 as I was trying to mint NFTs. Like it looked completely insane. It just made no sense. What if they can't use Polygon because Polygon is going too slow and Polygon's fees are also going up, which doesn't make any actual sense? They can't use Arbitrum or any other layer. Sorry if I sound a bit cynical or whatever word you want to throw in there, but it's really the truth. I'm not sure how Ethereum has actually lasted this long. The network doesn't work. It works, but it's incredibly slow. Like, imagine if we had, I think it's estimated that during the course of last year, I believe we had anywhere between 50 to 100 million people who owned Bitcoin. That was kind of the number that was constantly thrown around. One could assume that we have let's say 10, 15, maybe 20 million people actively using Ethereum on a weekly basis. Maybe not every single day. Imagine if we 10x that. The network wouldn't be able to move. There would be no transactions happening on Ethereum or any other layer because everything would be so backed up. So anyway, slightly popular news, not the most popular. A lot of news like this ends up being released, but people never talk about the actual thing. It's the same exact thing. What was that other coin last week that actually had a DDoS attack or a 51% attack? People keep acting as if these things aren't taking place. Like the investments make no sense if the coins don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Anyway, so as of right now, as of where it stands, it's still supposed to be Q2 sometime. That is April, May, and June, as to when we see the merge and actually get a proof of stake Ethereum 2.0. But, that's besides the point. Or actually completely is the point. This is exactly what we need. Alrighty, let's move on. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University. How's life, Austin? Hello, welcome. Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified. And let's move on. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, FUDWISER Mortified, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambrosi, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos was like, Mo Barazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones, Mining Troy, All Good, Space Case, Tina Miracle, Paternoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Snacky Chan. I have no idea how that keeps getting me. You have no idea how many times I read through it and I make myself not laugh. I don't know why that's so funny. It really just drives me crazy. Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila Dahan, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohammed Maroney, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coley 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigara Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very, very much for your continued support over the years. I do appreciate it. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Hello, welcome out there as well. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who has commented, who has subscribed, or who has helped out with the algorithm and my YouTube rankings in any possible way. I do thank you, and of course, I do notice at the end of videos when I ask people to like type in the random numbers and stuff like that, I see all of you. Thank you. It's impossible to, individually thank 900 different comments, but thank you. Thank you for all of your help in this weird market. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $41,759. It's up by 0.14%. These movements are a bit insane. A lot of the other articles that I didn't have in there for price news were basically saying that this week they're expecting an enormous amount of volatility for Bitcoin's price. I chuckled because, Bitcoin's always volatile. But they think that we have gotten to the end or are near the end of a trading range, if you will, and therefore things are going to be knocked back and forth as people try to sway Bitcoin's price in one direction or the other. Binance Coin is up by 1.5%. Solana is up by 1.3%. Polkadot is up by 2.8%. Avalanche is up by 4%. Once again, the magnet of Bitcoin. I told you, the market is a lot easier to stomach if you really understand that Bitcoin is going to be the actual moving force, but the other coins is still trying to move up even when the weight gets thrown on them. Chainlink is up by 4.5%. Polygon is up by 4. See Polygon again. Uniswap is up by 2. Algorand is up by 3. Near Protocol is up by 0.98%. Internet Computer is up by 4%. Phantom is up by 4. FTT token is up by 4. Anything else crazy or significant? Elron eGold is up by 3.1%. Theta is up by 1. Helium is up by 3. Monero is up by 2. Where's all right. I guess it finally fell. IOTA. IOTA has been hanging between coin number 45 to 49 for, it's been at least a millennium at this point, but they're not in the top 50 anymore. Oh boy. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope, and I know, once again, I know the cryptocurrency market is crazy, but, you know, do what you can. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, or supporting, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.